Yeah, why is sound alerts not in my chat? It's weird, it's not, where's the bot? Be in here. Weird. Alright, let's get these free assets we've been waiting for. Modular Gothic fantasy environment, that's pretty nice. Survivors roguelike multiplayer. Animated dialogue system, which I thought we might be able to use in some way, maybe. Grocery store props collection. And a low poly town. Good stuff. Thank you for emailing me a receipt for my free purchases. Oh yeah, we do have an update. Okay, I'm gonna close this when we get it and we'll update. If anyone is available right now, can one of you check the sound alerts below the channel and try to play something with like the text to speech? I just want to see if it works. We had a bug we had to fix. Forgot what it was. One bug. Make sure Cauldron checker logic does not use ingredient found variable. Fucks up when quickly dragging new item before other has spawned in Cauldron. Okay. Let's check that. Where do we use it? Yeah, what was it doing? Let me recreate it. Okay, and it completely bricks this one too. Oh, oops. Yeah, but I want to get the ingredient hovered. Yeah, it completely stops registering it even. Still thinks it's hovered. Wait, it didn't work. Oops. Weird. Probably because of this. Probably because it takes time to destroy the actor. Do we need these here? Because the bug won't happen if I do this, but I'm not sure if it'll cause something else to happen. Doesn't really seem like any other bugs happening. That's pretty fun, actually. Yeah, let me tick ingredient found once again, just to see if it messes that up. Because I'm pretty sure we did that for a good reason. Doesn't seem to be causing any bug. I think we're okay. Okay, I think that's fixed. I hope. In-world UI for Cauldron contents. We kind of did that. Right? For the rest of today, by the way, you guys are just gonna have to like bear with me. And I'm checking all of my accounts to see if there's been any issues. No, that I will. Okay, we need to make this Cauldron contents, but we have that. This is enough for what's in there for you to like remove it. I think we should have the UI now that I think we should have the UI now that allows you to see the resulting potion, right? I'm actually pretty curious if we give this. If we have this widget safety box block, alchemy table traces, what will that do? Actually kind of nice, except that it can go up that far. So it's just placing it on the hit location. I'm okay with the functionality as long as we can make sure that it keeps the height. I'm actually pretty cool with the functionality then. Let's do a fix on that. Let's see if we can do that. That would just be on the drag trace. Yeah, we get the hit location, then we add to it. I want it to be static. What if we got this? And what if we got the location? And begin play. Get the widgets. No, not widget safety box. Just the table collision. What is it called? Oh, this is tabletop collision. Okay. We get tabletop collision. We get world location. Break the vector. We get the Z. We do an addition of 5. Promote to variable. Let's do gradient picked up height. Okay, and then on the click drag, instead of getting this, the hit location of the Z, adding 5, we'll just plug in this. Perfect. It's a little wonky. I think it's because it goes out so far. Hold on. I can fix that. Yeah. Just because it goes out a bit. We can actually align it more with like the table now. We did that to prevent a problem, but we don't need to do that anymore. I think that'll be okay. We'll probably want to stretch it across because we're gonna have another widget coming in too. We can do like do like that. As long as the trace can't hit the top of it. Yeah, I don't think it can. Then it looks good. Oh, I don't want that. I want the... I think we want to connect it up to here. Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. A 15-minute hack check. Every 15 minutes we'll do that. Because I'm angry. We're okay. Okay, now with some more bugs fixed. Sorry if that was loud. Wake up! With some more bugs fixed, I think we can start to get into making that panel now. It's pretty hard to break it now. It's a good thing though. We want this panel to show the effects of the potion and the taste. Those are the big two. And any tags that might be relevant. So we kind of want it to be a condensed version of like just the aspect. Because these are specifically just information about the ingredient itself. We don't care about that. Well, relevant tags might be a tough one to test. Granted, we just put placeholder tags in there for now, right? These aren't actually tags we intend to use. The way we do effects, or the way we do this is pretty simple though. So for effects, we take the lowest common tiers of combined ingredients as long as at least 2 of those ingredients have the base effect. So if we add one ingredient with Ravage Mana 2 and one with Ravage Mana 1, it would just, the resulting potion would have Ravage Mana 1, right? However, if we added something with Ravage Mana 2, now it would become Ravage Mana 2. Flavor. And this is I think the biggest one that's kind of up in the air is how do we handle the flavor? We need more to test on this to see if it's actually in a enjoyable state, right? We could take the average of the flavors that are being added, which would kind of make sense because, of course, as you add more ingredients, it'll become harder to move the average. So if you have a whole bunch of like low sweetness ingredients, you can't just add one lump of sugar and it's all solved now. Like, you know, it would take a lot, right? However, if you just put one really low sweetness in there, you could add a thing of sugar and it would balance out. But again, I'm not totally sold on the way that we're presenting the flavor here. I think that needs to go back to the drawing board. But the important thing is that we have it in place, and if we do change it, we can just update the way that we show it and the way that we calculate it. So. Yeah, flavor, let's take the average of all combined ingredients. And that's for each individual thing, right? So we get all the ingredients that are in there, we get all their sweetnesses, and we take an average of it. That's pretty easy. Tags, I don't think we would combine tags. We would literally just show a single instance of all the tags that are present. We would just basically have an array of unique tags. That to me should work. How did we break apart the UI for this? That's what I thought. We probably should push these to their own widgets, in my opinion. We could just like duplicate and then just delete the ingredient info box. I mean, that is pretty much it. Like I would ideally just like to reuse the same panels for both, but it is a prototype, like it doesn't really matter. It's just because if we ever make changes to like one of these and how it looks, we would then have to do it to both. So it would be the most ideal for future stuff, and we probably would be doing that with at least the flavor box. So pushing them to their own sub widgets. As much as I hate the idea of having to do that. We're gonna need a way to in the future, of course, not for today, but to determine the effects that have been discovered or not, and only show the resulting potion effects that are known, right? I think this music just fucking puts me to sleep. I need something like get me in the mood. Yeah, so okay, so let's just for now, we might have to refactor this in the future. Let's just duplicate this. Hate to do, but doing it. We can replace the canvas panel with the I want to replace with child. Why can I not? Oh, because there's more than one. I mean, that's fine. I also don't need this image behind it. So now we could replace it, right? Yeah. Desired on screen. Let's delete this. There's padding on top that we don't need. I'm gonna put some text above it for like the potion info for the cauldron. We'll fix that. For now, let's just call it resulting potion info. And we'll just center that. And we'll put a little bit of padding below that to separate it. Kind of want some padding on top too, actually. Let's do... Start with the border. Not the... There we go. Do that. Okay, and we'll put, we have content border, right? Let's do 5 on that. Yeah, and then we'll do border on the, or padding on the bottom for 20. It's acceptable. Yeah. Sorry, guys. This is all for the ingredient display. This is the ingredient data. But not effects, flavor, or tags. So pretty much all of this can go. I mean, we don't really want to reuse this because it's not accurate. We also don't need an ingredient input. I'm gonna pull up my other prototype just as a reference. I made this in that one. But weren't we supposed to update Unreal? We didn't do that. Let me do that real quick. There might be some bug fixes. Hopefully it doesn't do big, I don't know. We'll see. It probably will be a little bit big. That's good. Take a small break. Some good games that released recently. Why do I see a sexual content game here? Shouldn't that be hidden? Hold on. I don't think it shows anything sexual though. No, it's not. Okay. Stronghold Definitive Edition. Racine is getting some good reviews. I'm kind of sad that it isn't getting more reviews, considering that it was pretty heavily marketed on Twitter that I saw. The Invincible, Polish-made game. Actually, here in Kraków, I know where their offices are. Like a maybe like 30-40 minute walk. Dude, I'm paranoid now with this. It's so weird, we're still getting copyright claims. Or content claims, I should say. But it's like the only music we're using is through Chill Hop's own radio. The only thing. Like, I even made sure to use this instead of like their Spotify playlist just in case it wasn't updated, but like I don't know what else I'm supposed to use then. Are these songs even on the list that they're claiming? I control F over here. Can't find in page? What? Oh yeah, I was looking at one and like this one. Yeah, weird. Well, maybe they'll take another look and release it. Oh, we're updated. Okay, let's launch it. Okay, and let's open up the other project. Because I pretty much did kind of the same thing. I just want to make sure that there might be some stuff we can just copy over because I already did it. But it wasn't a super complicated set of blueprints. So if we have to do from scratch, it's not a big deal. Why do you have to compile shade? Come on. Fuck you. Okay. Uh, build info panel. Do we need to get? Do we want to insert the ingredients through here? Where are we gonna call this? Where are we going to call this? Do we want to call it in the alchemy? I mean, it's gonna be part of the alchemy table, so we should be able to just, you know, it's gonna be a widget on here, right? Essentially the same as Cauldron content. So whenever we just a macro like this, right? Be the same thing. I mean, let's add a widget at least first. Let's set this up. Ocean info. No. That's using perfect size. Excuse me. You know, well, okay, let's snap it for now. At least enough just to get it in place. Yeah, we scale the shit out of this one. Let's scale this down to. Does it really have no padding on the side there? I guess we don't do any content padding, do we? Let's just add like. Just do that at least. A little bit of padding. I don't know why it's so scrunched up. Oh, because it's not drawing it at the desired size. There we go. It's a wide boy, isn't it? Oops. What angle is this one on? 40? Yeah, let's do it at 40. might be a little too big still. Let's try bumping it down a little bit. Back, but only for a while, no worries. Let's see how this looks. See how this looks. Too big, too small. I don't see it. It's set to default. Did you experiment with UI but in world space? Yeah. That's what these all are. Actually are. Well, these two things specifically are UI and world space. We need them in better positions. Yeah, I've been using world space UI stuff for a while, and it's really enjoyable. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, changing the... Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. I have done that before. There are some things that's really good for, but there's some things that I'm not a fan of it with. Yeah, I've only used it once, and I can't remember what it was for. Like, it's really only good for a select few effects. I don't remember. It was a couple of years ago at least that I was doing it. Well, that's out of the screen. I mean, we could tilt the camera up a little bit. Yeah, waypoint is good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's very useful for that. Which is actually, I think, what you've jogged my memory. I think that's exactly what I did it with, was waypoints in the world. We could tilt the camera up. What if if we do that? That's better. That's pretty decent. I'll try to get these more centered, I guess. I don't think we have to rotate this one as much this way. It could be more like that. Cauldron. Where's the Cauldron transform? Paste it. And then fix the scale. Not the Cauldron location. That's fine. Kind of wanted it as a reference for the center of this. Close enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's just meant to represent some other better looking, more immersive way to show the player what they're making and what's in the cauldron. So for all intents and purposes, this is very functional. Which is the point of a prototype. We want the player to be able to see what they're making while they're making it. And they can do that. Even with the Cauldron having very weird collision. I mean, it's just a hollow cylinder. I could really just make a better mesh in Blender or something, but it works. It isn't buggy. It's just looks a little weird when you put stuff on certain edges. Like that. Who cares? Function over form. Now, because this is visible the entire time, we need to do a couple of different solutions here for the UI. A weird nail. Are you even allowed to show knives on stream? Oh. Context matters, okay. I'm safe then. Obviously they don't want you wielding it like a fucking maniac, right? Oops. Flip that. Like, we need pretty much all this to not be visible. I mean, the tags box, I guess, is fine. Those are separate, you know, widget children, so we can just delete that. These can remain neutral in their neutral state, that's fine. But the effects need to just be either a bunch of question marks or empty, which probably just empty. I mean, we can do like an overlay too, and we can show, you know, add ingredients to start seeing effects. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if we could show which effects in there are you only have, you know, one ingredient that has it, or if you know, how many ingredients you have that have that effect. How could we display that? Because we could then we could create a child widget that, you know, we do that with, right? We just use a uniform grid panel, so we can just tell it, you know, we can just do the math to keep pushing it down or something. How would we display that? We can have like, let's see. That's really small. What she said. Okay, so we could have the be like a box with the effect name. Or just do effect. do this. I'm already bad at writing. I have terrible handwriting. We can do like effect and then, you know, tier, whatever. And then we can do like little circles below, denoting the number of ingredients that has that. Like the way that we make this look good, it's really going to come down to how we present the information and how easy it is to understand just by looking at it. And I think that we do need to spend a little bit of time with the prototype doing that, because again, as we spoke about before, no matter what, a frustrating prototype is not a fun prototype. You should at least not have something that's frustrating. People can like moving shit around, but if they don't know what they're making or how to make it, it's frustrating. I don't mind this, except that it doesn't take into account tiers of potions or tiers of effects. Because like we talked about before, if you add something with effect tier 3 and then something with effect tier 2, the resulting potion would just have effect tier 2. So this can at least tell us how many what if we do it, what if we do the 2-column method, right? So we have two columns. We have effect. That looks trash. And then tier. Dude, my E's look like ass. Okay, so what if we do that? And then we do this, we do the box of, again, the effect, right? We'll just do the, if you're familiar with this, this just means copy what's above. And tier, and this will be like the result. But then what if below we put little versions of the symbols or of the icons? Of the potions that have that effect, or the ingredients that have that effect. Right, so we'll do, you know, icons. Let me put that, let's put it to the side. And then you can hover over the icons. Yeah, but that won't be, it won't be obvious that you can, right? I mean, there are really good ways we can make this that would look so fucking good, but it's beyond my ability to do. And I think it would be, we would essentially be working on the final version. I don't want to do that for the prototype. Vertical slice, yes. Because like this and the encyclopedia that you develop as character, those are, in my opinion, the most important tools that the player has. And we're gonna have to put a shit ton of information in them and have a really good way of displaying that information. I think we definitely need like two aspects to this, right? Like the quick glance to obtain the information that you most need, which is what is the potion going to be if this is in there. The icon idea isn't bad, I don't think. It shows you at a glance what ingredients are affecting that effect. I mean, they could like not flash, but like pulse, right? Between their icon and the tier of the effect that they're adding. However, I think that this adds a lot of visual clutter. Because imagine, for instance, if we have 5 well, it requires 2 ingredients with the same effect to get the effect in the potion, right? So if you have, theoretically speaking, if my math isn't wrong, with 5 potions you can get a maximum of 10 effects in the resulting potion, right? 4 effects per ingredient, 5 ingredients per potion, that's 20. You need at least 2 of the same effect to get it in the resulting potion, so you would have a maximum of 10 effects per potion. Which is ridiculous, right? That's probably unlikely to happen unless we balance something in a really weird way. But it could happen. We can always limit it to, but this is kind of a band-aid, right? We can limit it to only showing or only putting into the potion the 3 ingredients or the 3 effects with the highest tier. Maybe. Or, insert number here of the highest tier. But I think that's just a band-aid fix for bad balance, if you ask me. We can okay, I think showing the icons is not a terrible idea. Having a pulse might be too much, but if you have if this whole thing is essentially one widget, right? Being added list style. like, you know, like this. We can just make that whole thing like a button that you can hover over to get a tooltip, or that you can click on to see more info. And then you can click on that and have something pop up with essentially more information about what's in that or what's causing that effect in that tier. So you'd almost open like a sub list. Instead of effect in tier, it would be ingredient in tier. And then on that list, you know, we can like gray out the ones that aren't doing much for the potion. Let me take a look at how... I've never really paid attention. I just need like uninterrupted gameplay of the alchemy. Just so I can kind of pay attention to this shit. This is just kind of teaching you how to break this shit right. Well, kind of, it auto filters, right? So as you add, if I'm not mistaken, it auto filters. So when you start adding ingredients, am I wrong about that? Yes, like when you do that, it will only show you the... No, it kind of just shows everything. You kind of just look at one ingredient and you say, okay, this is the base one that I'm starting with. You just kind of hold it in your mental self. But of course, it's very nice to be able to click on, you know, fortify smithing, for instance, and you only see the ingredients that do that, and you can quickly add them. And I think the speed and ease at which you can do that is part of what makes Skyrim Alchemy so... I mean, it's not everybody's favorite skill, right? But I don't think this aspect is the frustrating part, right? I think the frustrating aspects are that you need higher value potions to make more XP. And so therefore you're not too sure of what creates that value. So it's a very frustrating skill to level up. But I think to quickly create a potion that you want or a poison that you want, it's very fast. Twitter check. Okay, we're safe. We're safe. I don't mind this, but I worry about the space. I worry about how much space this needs to actually look good. You guys know what I mean? Oh, we got this open too. Okay, we'll use that. Look at this. I mean, if I do think that to some extent it would help if the player could also get a small tooltip when they hover over the ingredient here, even if it's just in this, just to quickly see what effects they add, because then they can say, that's not useful for me. It would also be cool, I think, if you're in this. No, we don't need to. I mean, we could probably do that. I don't know what the tooltip looks like in world space. We create a quick tooltip widget. Give it a shot. VP test tooltip. We'll just make it a white box. An image, I guess. Fine. Okay, on event construct, create widget, Test tooltip. Set tooltip widget. Oh, it does show up. Shows up down there though. It's kind of. I wonder why it shows down there. The hiccups now, wonderful. Yeah, such a weird location and kind of weird behavior too. Yes, I don't think tooltips work. These shouldn't cast shadows. I don't know why I do. Because this is this casts shadows, this material. Which a 3D pass through mask. Let's solve the design for this. Let's try to solve the design for this, because I think that that's really going to be the... I don't want to have to... I don't want to have to refactor it, really. I probably will, but... the simpler and more understandable we can make this combination system, the better. I think making this a separate element is probably the better option, and then giving it that we can't do a tooltip pop-up because it's kind of fucked up. But we could do something on the HUD that appears. So it wouldn't be in the world, but if you really want to see what is getting added and why, you can hover over it and something on your HUD. Or, and here's an option. Okay, I'll show you. I'll tell you. When you are in this view, added some ingredients. Some good shit. Let's pretend that you have this here, right? You have this whole widget here in some good looking form. What if when you hover over one of the effects, it highlights the ingredients that are adding that effect? And then, we can modify this, right? Because this is just border with image overlay, I believe. Yeah, it's just a border icon and button overlay. Like, you're in the game, you hover over it and it flashes or does something to the ingredients that add that effect. And even there, then we can like pulse the tier, or we can temporarily, because the player can't hover over these two things at the same time. So we can even, remove the button temporarily and just show something else entirely, like flipping a card, right? Yeah, there's some budget stuff on this. So, you have, this is this side, right, that we see now. And you hover over the effect, and then it flips or something. And I don't know if we can do that animation necessarily. We might be able to do something that's like that. The animation isn't important. Just essentially it's like flipping this and we show the back of it. So like the effect tier that is being added because of it, and anything else relevant to that. then at least we don't have anything appearing on the HUD and taking you out of the immersion. And it wouldn't be too difficult. Plus, they're all part of the same blueprint, so we can just have them communicate with each other, no problem. I think we could do that. That might work. Okay, so let's add that to our to-do, because that's kind of a lot to get into today. And I don't want to touch the flavor or tags yet, even though we probably could do that. We won't screw around with that at the moment. Okay, so let's add that to our to-do. Let's move this over. Next task, well, yes, but also we'll save this too. Untitled.png, my favorite. Hi Everly. Unfortunately, we are actually getting close to ending it a bit early today. I got some stuff I gotta get to back home with some part-time work. And I'm very tired, but I gotta do that. Okay. Hovering over effect on potion outcome UI. Highlights ingredients that add that effect and shows their tier on contents widget. Yeah, that'll work. Actually, is it raining right now? It's supposed to rain today. Oh no, it isn't. Might rain late Friday, early Saturday, so that won't be what we're here. Hardworking person, you can do these. I wish I need more energy. Well, I should be a more hardworking person. There's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff we're doing with the stream too, and then some business management stuff. And then these last 2 days I've had some issues with Twitter accounts being compromised, so that's been fun. And then I have a deadline with my part-time work coming up that I need to get out. And then I can breathe easily for a couple weeks. Like to put buy highlights ingredients. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. Maybe this is a little small. I don't think it's that bad, but we can always just increase the scale a little bit because it is kind of small here. But depending on how many effects we have, we might need to push that up. But because of how wide it is, we might be able to fit 2 of these side by side. We'll have to see. gonna get a little complex, but I think we can do it. Yeah, and I had it working here, but I don't remember. I always forget where I actually had it. Cauldron slots. Oh. Potion. No. Yeah, it was this, but I don't think this is stupid. Also decided to stream my art, but unfortunately I couldn't do it. It's a shame. Yeah, we'll sideline this for today because I know that if I get into this, it's gonna take a long time, and I'm kind of worried there might be some bugs. I'd rather approach that with like a fresh mind. And I'll think a bit more in my free time if I have any to about how we want to display this information. That's the plan. Okay. Let's save it all. And we'll call it for today. I apologize to anyone who just got here. I do have to get back and do a little bit of my part-time work. And so hopefully I can get that done, you know, and out the door. And then we have a bit of time to breathe. But we'll be back tomorrow with more Talos Principle. And we'll tackle this issue head on with the effects panel tomorrow. And hopefully by the end of the week, we can have it all finalized and calculating the potion without any issues. But it's going to come down to how we display that info, I think. So thank you so much for coming out and for watching me play and watching me work more on this game. I know it wasn't as long as usual, but we fixed some nice bugs, fixed some things up, made the panel, and tomorrow we should be able to make a lot of good progress on it. So thank you again, guys, and have a great rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow, and peace.